Dutch English.
Yeah, it's a cousin of Dutch and German.
Yeah.
Like we kind of still a little of both. Yeah.
But that was not my question.
Okay.
First, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. My oldest son came out from Switzerland last year. He loves the fact that you tell everybody it's okay to be gay. And he is proud, and I'm proud of him.
Oh. How old is your son?
He's just turned 18.
Oh.
And I have my other son with me, and he's 16.
Oh, hello.
And I have not two sons, they are 15. And I have a little question about family.
Yes.
How's your time management? I don't understand how you get energy to take care of Kingston, take care of your husband, I think.
He's on his own.
Okay. And go to acting, what costs a lot of energy and time, and be that amazing. I want to know.
Listen, the thing about Instagram, okay, is we post what we want you to see. You don't see the other side, and it is a juggle. So, firstly, let me just say what an incredible mother you are to embrace your son and to guide him through coming out, because I imagine it's such a big deal for them. So thank you. And to answer your question, it's not easy. You know, when I had Kingston, so I was pregnant for up until about 7 months, and I was shooting in season 2. So the entire MagicCon Smith episode, Mr. and Mrs. MagicCon Smith, I was pregnant, and then had Kingston, went back to work 6 weeks later, was breastfeeding, and at that point we didn't have a nanny. It was just my husband and I. So shout out to the dads or the partners who take over when the other person in the relationship has to work, because it's not easy. It's a harder job, actually, I think. But we're very lucky, you know. I'm very fortunate to be able to. Kingston does have a nanny who's there and helps us out. But I'm very present too, so I'm there for naps and bedtimes and bath times, and it's just a juggle. This is all I know, guys. I only know how to throw 25 balls in the air and just like keep them up there, you know. But I have a great support system, so that's really like that's really how I do it, to be honest with you. Yeah, thank you.
I think sometimes, you know, and working as an actor in entertainment, there's a sense of when people go, wow, it's amazing. You go, wait a second, how many sons did you have?
Exactly, you have 4 sons, I have 1. Yeah. And I don't work every day, you know. We're on hiatus now, so I have time off. And yes, I have other things going on, but like, let's not forget that you guys do this mother thing, juggling thing every day. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. So we know since season 1 that MagicCon is part of the LGBT community.
Yes.
And I just want you to know how much you inspired me and how much you made myself feel more comfortable. Especially you. You've been recently to ClaxaCon.
Yes.
So yeah, it was so amazing, and I just wanted to know how you feel to be an inspiration to this community and to be part of this community.
It's a huge honor, and I didn't take this job knowing that she would become this character that was so loved within the LGBTQIA community. You know, one of my favorite comic strips from the comic book is her kissing a character, this bartender that she falls in love with in Lux. And she's in the Silver City, and there's a group of people watching her, and she's kissing this girl, and she's giving everyone the finger. And I was like, I have to play her, because like, that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's 2019. I have a son. I want him to grow up in a world where people people are not just tolerated, but like, or accepted, but that it's just part of life. I want people who, you know, are in same-sex relationships to, or trans relationships or whatever, because Maze is pansexual, she's down for whatever, whoever, she likes you, she's into you, and I really respect that about her as a character, but I want my son to grow up in a world where, you know, kids like him, you know, when he's old, like they feel safe, that they're not in fear of being who they are, that they're loved. I mean, the thing about GoPro was there were such amazing coming out stories, and then there were so like tragic coming out stories with parents who, you know, kick kids out of the house or people who are homeless. And there's nothing my kid could do that would make me ever treat him that way. So if through my character I can make people all the way in Germany feel who are part of this community like it's okay to be who you are, fuck everyone else, fuck what the world thinks, you are perfect, you're exactly who you are, and that's totally fine, then I've done my job.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Thank you. Sorry, I just want to add to that. The thing that I've never understood is like, why does anyone else care who you love or are attracted to? Why? It perplexes me.
It baffles me. It baffles me. And then it's like, I'm so vocal on social media, and then I'm like, I still have so many homophobic people following me. I'm like, wrong person! You know? It's so weird.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm a huge Spartacus fan,
Oh.
and maybe it was one of my favorite characters. So I was really sad when you left the show.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you followed the other seasons, but were there any ever moments where you thought, oh damn, I wanted to play that part? Because maybe it changed quite a bit in the later seasons.
No, is my honest truth. I love that character, and I'm still very close to a lot of people who are in that show, Craig being one of them, Aaron Cummings, Katrina, and I loved my time there, and I loved that I got to give that character life. But if I'm all, you know, in all honesty, I wanted to work in Los Angeles, and I had a work visa, and that was just the golden ticket for any actor who could go over there, is that you could go and work immediately. And, you know, I wanted to go to the 1,000-piece puzzle, and the show was kind of up in the air after dear Andy passed away. So I wasn't signed into a long 7-year contract, you know, and in the interim of them deciding what they were going to do, I made a decision and I stuck to it. And you know what's interesting about that is I auditioned for and booked a recurring role in CSI New York, and I met my Lucifer producers in that audition. And when I went in and auditioned for MagicCon, they remembered me for that. So it all comes full circle, you know, at the end of the day. But I love that someone else got to play a different version of that character. You know, my Navia was strong, but in a different way. And I was just happy to be part of the first season that kind of like, you know, made the show so successful. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're getting on a good time.
Hi. So I would like to know if you ship, or if you would ship Linda and Maze as a couple, or because that's what I would do.
Oh.
But I could also understand if you say they have such a great friendship. I would like to keep them as friends. So what's your opinion on that? What do you think?
Friends.
All the lesbians, they just want me and Rachel together, don't they? I love it. You know, listen.
How long
Mom,
did it take us to get there?
Listen. Maze is down for whatever, whoever, Mark. If you got a character on the show, maybe he should be down for you too.
I might people call your people.
I think an honest truth, and I think it's more of a friendship. And the reason why, and here's why I love that, is, you know, so many relationships on television when it comes to women, are written to be lustful, and it's rarely great when I see relationships on TV that are really just about true friendship. So even the whole fight between the two of them wasn't about a guy. And let's face it, we've seen that story before, it's boring. What that fight was about was betrayal. Betrayal not because of a guy, but because my friend Linda had said, you know, go to therapy, learn to use your words and express how you feel, and you will find that people will listen. And so that's what she did, right? She said, I don't like the idea of you and my ex getting together, and it just makes me feel uncomfortable, so I really don't want you guys to do that. And whether or not that's selfish or not, to a demon, she did the thing that her friend said to do, right? And then her friend still waited hooked up with her boyfriend. So that's where that conflict kind of like comes out of. But I love that the writers are so protective of that friendship, because their coming together again was so beautiful and so great to film as just an actress. So I don't know that there's any kind of romantic, I don't think that there's any kind of romantic feeling there. I know that a lot of people want it to be. I just think it's like two really good, solid women who like deeply care about each other. And you're gonna see a lot of that in season 4. Like if you thought season 3, yeah, there's some shit that goes down. So, yeah, sorry.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. I just like their chemistry.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can always use our imaginations. Hello.
On Spartacus, you worked with Lesley-Ann, and I would like to know what was it like to work with her.
Let me tell you, first of all, my first experience, that was the second show I'd ever done, like big show. My first show, actually, Craig Parker and I played love interests in a show, little show called Diplomatic Immunity, and it only did one season. And so I, all of a sudden, walk onto this set of this giant production, and I'm there with Lucy Lawless and John Hannah, and I have this green young actress who, like, you know, done one show, and I'm like, oh my god, you know. And then they're like, hey, and now you're gonna fluff her and get her ready for her husband in the scene.
I'm not sure what the German translation is.
You know, like, prepare the woman. You guys know that scene. Come on. You know that scene. Yeah. It's like, hey, what'd you do at work today? Well, I fluffed Lucy Lawless. It was great. And I had some cheesecake. It's amazing. She's a New Zealand icon. I mean, you know, she's everything you think she is. She's bold and tall and strong, and it was a really great learning experience for me. Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
I had a similar question. Mace has this great chemistry with Trixie.
Yes.
So how is it like to work with Scarlett? Is it as fun as it is?
Oh, I love it. I love it. You know, they hadn't really planned that these two characters would have this crazy chemistry, but they wrote that scene where they meet at the bar for the first time, and then all of a sudden, you know, the sparks flew, and I think, like, Trixie's one of the few characters, well, the character early on that she trusted, the first human that she really trusted, because, you know, children are very, like I say, honest, and they'll tell you what's what, and Maze is very much like that. But I love working with Scarlett. She's such a professional. She's such a normal kid too, which I really applaud her parents, Sam, her mother Sam, who's there on set with her all the time, because she's, you know, she'll go and say these lines in this crazy, like, world of whisper, and then she goes back to being a kid, like, in between scenes, and we're playing, like, you know, patty cake, or, whatever cards she has. But her and I have dates sometimes, so we go to the movies together outside of work, and she loves my son. She's obsessed with my son. So I'm grooming her to be his babysitter. Or marry her, I don't know. Might like the older ladies. Or guys, I don't know, no judgment here. But yeah, she's pretty phenomenal. And I don't get to work with her as much this season because, you know, our order went from 22 to 10. But there is a pretty special scene that I think you just grab your tissues, that's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. First of all, yeah, I'd like to say I follow you on social media, and basically we both were pregnant at the same time.
You were? Oh, how? Did you have a boy or girl?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, congratulations.
So he's 2 months younger than you.
Oh, wow.
So it felt really good to follow you and to read your posts, and it encouraged me to stay strong because I had a very tough pregnancy. And
yeah.
So thank you very much for that. Because you now also know the difference being a mom now and the life before.
Yes.
Does being a mom have an influence on your acting?
Absolutely. I'm definitely a better actress for having my son. There's a kind of thing that burst open in me as an actress is you just literally don't have any time for any bullshit because you're so tired, you know?
Oh, yes.
I mean, you're just so tired. And also, so who you spend your time with, that person really has to matter, and that person really has to make the effort. Because you're like, it goes down there, like, you know, you've gone through kids, like, you know, nap times, bedtime, like, you know, so if I can see you for an hour in between and I'm making time, you better not show up late, you know, like that. But as an actress, I am way more emotionally available too. You know, the scene with Tom at the piano last season where I say, no, none of you deserve me. We shot that, I was so tired, it was the end of the day, on like a Friday night, the end of our work week. We maybe did that scene in like, I don't know, or my coverage, I want to say in like 2 or 3 takes. And every time, it was just like tears, every single time. I didn't have to push, and there's sometimes I found in my career, like I've done that. It's not, all I have to do is look at a baby